We came to run up a bag today. Yes, yes. We came to run up a bag today. Yo, 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 what is going on YouTube? It is Karma Speaks back with another video. I just came across this video from Epistemic Crisis. Title says, I've effing had it. Let's see what he's talking about.
I'm 41 years old. I went to school for 8 years and paid back 80 grand in student loans to become a physical therapist with a doctoral degree. I've been making six figures for 12 years now, long time, whole boatload of money. I am broke. Our mortgage, we're lucky enough to own a home. Our mortgage is not an overtly huge percentage of our income. We're not big spenders. We don't even spend on vacations because another piece of privilege is I married into a family that actually has a vacation home on a beach or near a beach. It's very nice. We don't pay to stay there. We're not big spenders. We drive two used cars. And the cost of living has nearly forced us to sell our house and move in with my mother-in-law, I guess. I don't know. I didn't go to school for as long as I did and pay back 80 grand in student loans so that I could be broke. This economy is horseshit.
Okay. Just to break it off right there, he's spending too much money. He's spending too much money. I don't know if his lady works too, but based off his income, he said he's been making six figures for a decent amount of time, boatload of money. Six figures is $100,000, right? Let's break it down there. After taxes and everything like that, let's say your take home is about $7,000. Let's say he's making 120 salary. He's bringing home maybe like 7,000. With 7,000, you can live a very decent life. I'm not going to say great or whatever, but you could live a very decent life. Going back, however far he's going back, if he had his mortgage for more than 5 years, like pre-COVID times, he should have a payment that's like no more than $2,000 to $2,500, which his paycheck alone should cover that easy. Cost of like what he's saying, he doesn't pay for vacations. He's saying that they're not, extravagant spenders. Now, of course, I'm in a different situation where it's like, okay, I get to still be with my mama and I'm making six figures. Like, I'm running up this bag while I'm 22 so that by the time I'm 30, I really have a nice nest egg and I can turn back and take care of my mom. I mean, I already do to the best of my ability, but I mean, put her in an actual house and not this apartment and this and that, right? But for this gentleman to say he's been making six figures, and that the cost of living is the reason as to why he has to almost foreclose on his house or sell his house, whatever he said, that don't add up. It doesn't add up. This is my first year making six figures, and I feel extremely comfortable. Not comfortable in my position, but if I had a gun to my head and I was told you have to live off $100,000 a year, I could do it and have a house and have a car. So I don't know.
It's absolute horseshit. Every day I wake up, I seethe with anger. And I work in home health and I drive through the countryside and I see gorgeous, 3, 4, 5,000 square foot houses that are being built brand new. And they're being built by boomers. Yeah. Because nobody who's 41 years old right now has $500,000, 750 grand to spend on a brand new house. The average American.
Isn't that crazy? So I live in New York. I live on Long Island, right? Median home price in one of the counties here is approaching, I think it's like $850,000 is the median home price. $850,000. Median household income is about 125. So if this gentleman has been making six figures, he's been making six figures. He could purchase a $750,000 house. He could build it. He could purchase it, whatever it is. He could do that. So there's something that's not being said that he's not mentioning. Is it OF subscription addiction that he's got? I don't know. I don't know what's going on between what's actually happening in his life that he's trying to explain, and then what he's telling the people, right now. Because when I look at it, 6 figures here on Long Island, it's a little bit tighter, but it's good. Like 100,000 is still good. Like there are people making 70, 60,000 that are making it work. But to say that you're in the Midwest or you're somewhere in the country and you can't afford a $750,000 house, it doesn't make sense. Nothing about that makes sense because everything else is cheaper there. The homes are cheaper there. If you have a cheaper than $500,000 house, your mortgage should be $2,500. $2,500 or less. So what is he not saying?
American household income is like 75 grand. The average American income for a household needed to buy a house is around 125 grand. It's insanity. The only reason, get this, the only reason that I actually have been prevented from selling our house is because of TikTok. I have another account with, it's coming up on 190,000 followers. My wife and I randomly had a video get 32 million views. And overnight, we were content creators. And at that moment, it was an absolute life preserver that we started making money from our content. TikTok has kept us, and we do monetize on YouTube as well, but not nearly to the degree of TikTok. TikTok has kept me from having to sell my house. If you'd have fucking told me when I was in school, when I was at the classroom building downtown, studying at midnight and probably into the early morning for a test the next day or the day after that, hey, one day, the only reason you won't have to sell your house because of the cost of living is because of this social media app that you're going to make videos on, and people are going to watch them, and that's the only reason you won't have to sell your house.
All right, we're going to leave it at that because, we just not going to pay it any mind. One, I do like the fact that he's able to monetize off TikTok because you need multiple income streams in this current economy, actually. Like, you need it, right? If you're not making 6 figures, then it's best that you do have another income stream that you can monetize off of, because it's such, unpredictable times that we're in. We don't know if everybody's going to lose their job or if, everything's just going to go to, crap or whatever. So it is good to have multiple income streams, and you should want to run up this bag. You should want to. I mean, for me personally, like, I have no complaint about having multiple income streams. Now mine are limited so far, but I'm working on building other income streams. Even this YouTube channel, we could call that an income stream that I'm hoping to build in the future, like once I'm eligible to. But real life is just like, yeah, you should have multiple income streams. And another thing is that, look, man, college is 100%, let me not say 100%, but a lot of degrees are scams, right? A lot of them are basket weaving, scams and cultural studies and just random ass stuff to spend 100 grand on to do what? Say that you have a degree. Like most degrees feel like that to me. Whenever I see somebody and they're like, yeah, I have a degree in this, but I still work at Starbucks, I kind of am just like, wow, like what was the purpose of going? Just to have a good time? I mean, you gotta have a good time outside of spending $100,000, like it's always so interesting to me seeing people do that. Same thing with like clubs and everything. Like, you could have fun outside of spending a crazy bag in the club trying to buy a section and buy bottles and do this and do that and flaunt and rent out a car, or you go to Miami, rent out a Urus, and then this and that. And now you're competing with everybody else that's renting out Uruses and all this. Like, it's just the same thing over and over again. But, Yeah, I definitely, honestly, like, I don't know his exact situation. Maybe there's medical debt, maybe there's other things, but he said he paid off the 80,000 in student loans. He said that he has a home and you know, they don't spend frivolously. It just doesn't really add up. You know, it doesn't add up unless he's got like 5, 6, 7 kids and a wife that likes to run up a bag, you know, that likes to run up a bag in the mall. Like that's the only other explanation to it, because he said he has used cars. Hopefully it's not a used Lamborghini. I mean, like, I don't know, but you know, it just doesn't add up. I do think he made a good point about having the multiple income streams. You need that in today's day and age, because you want to get ahead. You don't want to just be mediocre, because that's the main difference, is that getting another income stream, it not only gives you security against your job, because you never know if you're going to still have that job, but it also allows you to get ahead and run up that bag so that in any unforeseen circumstance that arises, you have something that you could fall back on. For me, over this past year, I've saved almost $70,000. So I got that to fall back on. If my business that I've, you know, run for the past 2 years suddenly just, you know, I don't get any clients because the economy is terrible and nobody has a bag to spend with me, then guess what? I got 70 bands sitting in the bank for me that I could just, you know what? I'm gonna just figure it out for the next year. I'm gonna figure it out for the next 2 years. I'm gonna figure it out for the next 3 years. Because you guys know I'm the king of saving. I save as much as I possibly can. I eat like shit. I eat ramen and processed beef patties from Dollar Tree. Because I'm just trying to save, run this bag. So it's like, now that I have this amount in savings, I'm able to just sit back, chill, and then figure out the next play. So that's why you need to have these different income streams, and you need to be prepared for whatever it is. There was a story that I heard about, actually, it was a story in the Bible. I'll say this really quick before we log off. There was a story about how there were bridesmaids who, you know, they would call them virgins. I guess you had to be a virgin to be a bridesmaid. But there were bridesmaids that had to somewhat like bring this oil or something like that. And the premise was that there were a group of bridesmaids that brought extra oil, which was basically bringing enough and some just in case anything happens. And then there were those that didn't bring any oil and had to leave. And then they had to go get oil and then come back. And then eventually they kind of just got left out, or that they, you know, just weren't able to participate in the wedding and be a bridesmaid and this and that. And it's because they got left behind and they weren't prepared and they didn't have enough. They didn't come. Yeah, they didn't come prepared. They didn't have enough to actually partake. They didn't have enough to actually enjoy the fruits of everything, because they weren't prepared and they were never able to really catch back up, right? So it's the same thing. It's like, for me, I'm 22. I'm making sure I save this 100,000. In the first building block for my life is having $100,000 saved and invested. First building block. I can't do anything else. I can't get a nice car. I can't do nothing without having that first. And then from there, I can start to, you know, build on top of that. I could get a nice car. I could get some more property or get property. I could, you know, invest in some more risky stuff, just not with that 100,000. 100,000 S&P, everything else, I could do whatever, but I need $100,000 as a baseline. I'm gonna leave it at that. Appreciate anybody that watched this. Peace.